Welcome back to another Trade Alts technical analysis, and in this video I'm going to be covering REEF Finance and taking a look at recent price action, see if we see anything interesting in the charts. But first, I just wanted to take a second here and thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel and has been watching my content. I really appreciate it. Like, it's amazing to know that we're at 555 subscribers. And I've had this channel for a little over a month now, so I'm very happy with that. Again, thank you so much to everybody who's watching this. Let's get to the charts. So here's Reef USDT on the daily time frame. I believe this is where I left off in my previous analysis. Last time I actually looked at Reef. But you can see this green zone. I didn't change it, so this is the same as the previous video. This is where I said I'd be really interested in taking a position, and you can see price move down. You got your wicks through it. It held up as support really nicely before you got your move out of here. So I'm very happy with that. You know, you had your macro value area low sitting here. You have a weekly level that's sitting here that caught this price action really nicely. And then obviously you got your push higher. But on, you know, kind of some areas that I am interested to the upside, because obviously, like, if you scroll out, I don't really take this wick into consideration. But Reef is pushing, you know, it's looking really nice. And on this initial fib pull that I did, so this is a fib extension that I did right here. You can see the measurements from this this low to the high to this low before you got this impulsive move up. Your two-spot extension caught the top of this move perfectly. So that worked out very nicely, really nicely. And another thing is, if you take a fib extension, a Fibonacci retracement from this low, same low, but this high, you can see where your golden pocket comes in. Your 618, your 66, absolutely beautiful. Got your wick right into your golden pocket before you got your eventual push up higher. So again, another nice form of confluence in this local zone here. I'm going to delete this, and then I'm actually going to pull a new fib extension now that I see that, from this to this high down to this low, and I'm curious kind of where this lines up. But obviously, like, this looks really bullish. This looks, you know, Reef looks really good. I am going to take a look at the Bitcoin pairing as well, because I think it's really important to check that pairing. But for the time being, you came up to your macro value area high resistance here. You got your pushback, came back down to your golden pocket weekly level. Really nice opportunity here, which we highlighted in a previous analysis. Got your push up, and you're right now you're pushing through. So not only did you clear your weekly level, but you're pushing through your macro value area high right here. So again, it's looking pretty good for a move up. You took out this, you took out the top of this wick, which is nice to see as well. So as far as upside potential targets, you know, as long as Reef continues to push, obviously, like, you don't want to see it reject here. And this weekly level is very important, in my opinion. If this weekly level is lost, then, you know, this could be possibly a swing failure pattern. Maybe see price even come all the way back down to here. I don't think that's too likely right now, to be honest. I think we're gonna push higher. But as far as potential targets, this is an area that I highlighted in the last analysis. Looking at and again, I like that the two-spot extension caught the wick really, like, basically exactly. So the next kind of zone that I would look for is the two-spot 618 right here, and it's just below 7 cents. You also have your R2 monthly pivot that's sitting here. So this kind of local zone, oh, and also, so this is your one-to-one extension. So if I kind of zoom out, this is your one-to-one extension from this huge swing right here. So you have your swing low all the way up to your, what was your high, back down to this really nice low, which is also had the golden pocket confluence there. So I really actually like this pull quite a bit. But that's lining up kind of, you know, around almost 7.5 cents. But anything within this region, I think, could be a nice, you know, potential take profit zone, or Just an area to be careful. Like obviously if you don't want to, if you're not looking to sell and you're trying to hold for high or whatever it is, this is just an area of caution, I would say, where you could get a reaction. And then looking up here, so you have your same 3.618 extension from the first fib pull, perfectly aligned with your 1.272 and the R3 monthly pivot. So this right here, I'll highlight. This is like really the fact that they all kind of come together. The fact that they all kind of come together in this straight line here, that is interesting. When you get multiple, so you have two different fib pulls that are lining up perfectly with each other, and then you also have a monthly pivot that is sitting basically right exactly in line. So this is definitely an area to watch. And then above that, it's really, again, I really like this fib pull, and we'll see, if price moves up here and hits your 1-to-1 extension. I'd be curious to see what the reaction is there. But naturally, I look for a reaction here at your 1-to-1 extension, and then your 1.618 extension. It's usually the two that I really pay close attention to, which is coming right here around your R4 monthly pivot as well, around 10 cents, 10.5 cents, something like that. So, as far as it goes right now, again, I think Reef looks pretty good. It's in a good spot. You're in breakout territory right here. Obviously, like your support is this macro value area high. Your pivot here, this kind of little region here, you really want to see this held. If it comes back down to back test, totally fine, not a big deal. But losing this weekly here would be an issue. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that Reef is, going to start some massive downtrend or anything like that. It just means that there's a decent likelihood that you could have a steeper pullback. So just something to keep in mind. But as far as this pairing goes, it looks really good. Not a whole lot to complain about. And the way that it's looking right now, I think that it, all likelihood probably continues higher. If you go down to a 12-hour, this is where I kind of like to throw on the Ichimoku. Now, this is a newer asset, so it's kind of, to be honest, it's a little bit harder to do technical analysis on. But as far as your 12-hour goes, on your tether pairing, you see that you had your bullish cross right here. So this is your bullish TK cross, and price is really moving nicely. You have really good angulation here. So if you look at the slope of your Tenkin, which is this blue line, so you look at the slope of both your Tenkin and your Kijun, that's exactly what you want to see. Like, it's very steep angulation, price is moving higher, cloud is bullish. Again, it's not really, it's like barely populating, barely able to populate a full picture because of how new Reef is. But this really is what you want to see. So that's a USDT pairing. Looks good. I gave you the, and again, right here. So you have your 12-hour 10K coming right at this weekly. I can't emphasize enough how important this level is. So about 4.6 cents, something like that. You really don't want to start losing this area. So let's go on to the Bitcoin pairing. So here's a Bitcoin pairing. Oh, that's interesting. So while I have this up, I'm actually going to change from Ichimoku, but while I have this up, you can see on the Bitcoin pairing, you're kind of getting the same signature, right? So price is above cloud. You're looking, it's forecasting to look like, in a day or so, you might get your bullish TK cross right here, which if that happens, usually a really nice sign to get, continuation higher. I really would like to see this weekly, obviously this weekly level is big resistance on as far as the Bitcoin pairing goes. And then you have your daily level sitting right at this R1 monthly pivot. That's also a big level. So you have your two kind of resistances above. But if that's reclaimed, again, the USDT pairing looks fantastic. The Bitcoin pairing, that's going to vary depending how things go. But those are your two local resistances that you have above. But this is a really big deal. And if you watch any of my previous videos, especially the tutorials that I did on this particular setup, and I will, if I can remember, I will link that to here. That way you can watch. I go into really good detail about this particular setup with Ichimoku. But just waiting for this cross. That happens. I think it's pretty, the likelihood statistically is that you'll see a continuation higher. So as far as Bitcoin pairing goes, this does look pretty good. You switch to a daily, turn off Ichimoku. It's kind of a mess. And, you know, we're kind of forming this really nice range. Oh, let's see. Gilbert Martinez, new subscriber. Thanks for subscribing. Even though I'm not live, I still noticed that you subscribed, so thanks. But, you know, right now... Oh, hold on. There's another one. Brad? Can't read that. Fradum 48? Is that what it says? Welcome. So I'm going to pull a fixed range here. I'm just curious. Kind of see if any levels line up. And I mean, you're above your value area high of this range, so that's good. Your point of control is way down here, right at your macro value area low, which is interesting. Weekly support. So, you know, you had a really nice, you see kind of this really nice upward movement here. You got your retrace back down to your macro value area low. You had a new weekly level form here. Price moved up to your value area high, your macro value area high, and it retraced right back to your weekly. So this is really important resistance. Kind of this zone right here, I would say. Not necessarily that wick. You know, this is really important support right now for the REEF Bitcoin pairing. Really don't want to see that lost. You know, if you had like a close below this box or something, that might be issues. You could see a deeper retracement. But again, as far as it goes, honestly, it looks really good. It's right here at this weekly level right now. So let's see, if I usually like to do fibs. We'll pull a fib retracement here. Wow, look at that. So your 618, your golden pocket sitting right here on this weekly level. So again, you know, this is taken from your previous swing high up at 122 sats down to your 54 sat low. And your golden pocket is sitting right on this weekly. So I like that for confluence as far as resistance goes. So this is a big level. If you're able to reclaim this level though, then you get a bit of a push up to this daily level, sitting at 105 sats, and your R1 monthly pivot, you get above that, and I think this Reef's probably going to rip, which will likely coincide with the USDT pair. So that's something to pay attention to. But again, I like how it sits. You're up against very important resistance here. So the reaction here, you know, would I long this? Absolutely not. So like if I'm trading Reef USDT, could be a little bit different. But I really like to kind of go off of the BTC pairing, the Bitcoin pairing. But longing right here is not financial advice, but it's a bad idea just because you're literally coming up to a very important a very important resistance level. Again, if this is reclaimed, then, you know, the daily level is not as big of a deal. I still would classify it as resistance, though. Like, I think it's likely to be respected, especially because there is the R1 monthly pivot there. So this is a very important level to watch as well. But the real resistance is right here. So we'll see what happens. But as far as, you know, if you're rejected here, you know, wouldn't surprise me to come back and test your monthly pivot again, daily level. But ultimately, if my gut tells me, I do think, judging by, I've been kind of monitoring Reef for a little bit, I would not be surprised if this actually pushes through here. But this, again, this is kind of your critical area to watch. So, you know, in a nutshell, obviously, if you can't kind of tell by the stream or by this video, Reef, you know, I'm pretty bullish on it. I think it looks really good. Not financial advice, obviously, but, you know, again, the Bitcoin pairing, would I long here? No, definitely wouldn't. But if it were to clear this, you know, I do think that it has, you know, significantly higher potential. And I guess I really didn't go over that with the Bitcoin pairing, so I will do that real fast. So off of this pool, and this is an old one that I did in a previous analysis, but you can see that the 1.618 coming right in with now. So this is a new, I think this is a new monthly pivot since I've done the video. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, really, I like this level with the pivot, you know, 148 sats, something like that. Definitely think, you know, you could see some reaction around here. And then, you know, going up higher, is anything else line up? Not really. Well, your 2-spot extension lines up really nicely with your R3 pivot too. So I mean, again, these, as far as these monthly pivots go, I like how they are lining up really well with the fib extension that I did. But yeah, that's kind of your targets, I guess you could say. I don't know if to say targets, but if we do break this R1 pivot, break above this daily, this is the area that I would be looking towards for sure. So I would be, which is a really big move. I mean, really, like if you're taking it, let's just say, even if you're just taking it from this daily up to here, that's a 40% move just from your monthly pivot daily level right here, literally your R1 pivot. But that's a 40% move just from there. So even if it breaks up here, I'm not usually a big breakout long kind of guy, but there's still pretty significant amount of upside here if you are able to get in. But anyway, that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Just wanted to do a quick brief analysis on Reef. For those of you who have been interested in my trading bots, which I know a lot of people have subscribed, a lot of people have been watching those videos, which is greatly appreciated. Kind of a little, I don't want to say it's a hint, but when I do these analysis on altcoins, a lot of times they play into ones that I'm watching for a reason. So for anybody who, again, and if you're this late in the video, 15.5 minutes in, typically most people have fallen off by now, but that's just a little hint for you that there's kind of a lot of times with these specific altcoins that I do technical analysis on, there's a reason why I do the analysis, because I actually want to see kind of what's going on. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Got a lot of really cool content coming out. Got a whole Ichimoku module that I'm working on right now that I will post when it's done. Have some more trading bot videos on the way as well. But again, if you're not part of the community yet, welcome. Subscribe. We have a Discord, which I will leave a link in the description below. I will also link my Telegram and other rooms that I am in. But hope you enjoy the video. Have a nice day. Trade safe out there.